Okay. So your first one is, what does MENA stand for? So these are the causes These will be the causes of World War I. So we have militarism, alliances, imperialism, nationalism, and the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. So I did put these into the chat so you can copy them, especially assassination, because that might be iffy. All right. So imperialism is one of the reasons. And so you had a lot of competition going on. So everybody's already kind of mad at each other and trying to get a piece of the globe, essentially. So let's see. Extending a country's. It is. Power and influence through diplomacy or it is military, right? Yes. All right. So you could, if you were to go and take over somebody else's country, go there and try to use diplomacy, like, hey, if you give us this, we will give you this. Or you could just go in and use force, because these countries, European countries, are going to have way better weapons than the people in Africa or the countries that were colonized in Asia. Soon many countries were jealous and bitter, especially Germany of Britain and France. I definitely had a thing for inserting cats because they have funny expressions. So especially Germany of Britain and France. Let me double check that order. Yes. So Germany was not as put together as Britain and France. So they didn't go out and acquire really a lot of countries. All right, being a strong supporter of the rights and interests of one's country. And this is to like a whole other level than like, ooh, I love this country. It's like, you know, like it's over the top. Strong supporter of the rights. Being a strong supporter of the rights and interests of one's country. Like I said before, it's almost like having 4th of July like every day, where you're just like all about that country, whichever one you lived in. So in America, they'd be like, woo, America! And Britain, it was like, woo, Britain, we're the best! Except you're not going to find a barbecue over there. So after the Napoleonic Wars, so that's when Napoleon went through Europe, and he kind of expanded some of the land for France into Germany and Italy. But afterwards, the two countries kind of reunified themselves and got turned back into a solid country instead of being kind of broken into pieces by Napoleon, really. An arms race. Woo! The cat has all the guns. This is where your country loves the military, and they want more people in the military. They want more weapons, just more and more and more and more and more. Because if you have more and more, you can defend yourself more and more, right? Oh, and put those in there. Let me go back right quick, because I do want to put this into the chat. So after the Italy. Did I spell Napoleonic right? Napoleonic. I did. Look at me go. And Italy. All right. So when army and military forces are given a high profile by the government, imperialism, equal competition, and arms race. Because if you go out, you're taking over other countries, you need more weapons, right? And then also you had Germany trying to compete with France for the biggest army. And this was all to be like, I have a bigger army than you. And Germany versus Britain for the biggest navy. And I mean, Britain is still known for their navy. That's like their thing. I mean, they're an island, right? So they're going to want to protect themselves. Wait a second. So Germany and France were like, all right, we need the biggest army. And they were just recruiting soldiers, training. They just wanted to be, and at that point it wasn't like, oh, I want this so that, like, we are going to war. It was more like, I just want bragging rights. I just want bragging rights that we have the biggest army. I just want bragging rights that we have a bigger navy. I mean, we can even look at, like, today. Like, the amount of... We often compare the amount of nuclear weapons we have to Russia. Right now, Russia has more. We disassembled some of ours, and it's really not something to freak out about, because we could definitely destroy the world. I'm not sure how many times over. But it's like repeatedly with just the amount of nuclear weapons we have. You don't need that many to cause complete and total disaster for the entire world. I'll have to look it up. How many nuclear weapons would it take to destroy the entire world? All right. Alliances. This was a big thing. All right. An agreement made by 2 or more countries to give each other help if it is needed. An agreement between 2 or more countries to give each other help if it is needed. Many alliances were signed between 1879 and 1914, and 1914 is the start, giving countries no option but to help if their ally declared war. So once you've signed this thing, you can't really be like, oh, yeah, we're not going to help you. It's like, no, you signed this, so you're like going to help. And the deal is to, I mean, in a sense, you could back out, but if you did, it's like one of those things where you promised, you gave your word, and if you back out of that, then everybody knows that you promising and keeping your word is kind of irrelevant. So, and nobody's going to want to, have you as their backup. And so if you get attacked, well, sucks for you. So what goes in here? Signed between 1879 and 1914. Giving countries no option but to help if their ally. Okay. That looked weird to me for a minute. Ally declared war. So you can put stipulations into these things. One of the things that was kind of a big deal was when the Iraq War really took off. Because of World War II, there is something, and I can't remember which treaty it is, that doesn't allow for Germany to attack first. And they viewed it as the countries attacking first. So, and you gotta also take it differently from, was it the country doing it or was it a few people doing it? And if it is those few people doing it, do they represent the country, right? So Germany was like, no. Like when everybody asked, hey, who's coming over here to Iraq? Germany was like, no, we can't. You guys, everybody in history said that we can't attack first. That's like the rules after World War II, which totally makes sense. And I think France was not cool with it either. So it's also got more likely that people will kind of say no. Any alliances now kind of have more stipulations, but as soon as you see that, people will start being like, oh, you didn't come when we needed your help, and it kind of puts a negative spin on the alliance you do have, essentially. Hang on. Alliances. Does this bring up? Let me double check. Yeah, okay. So, this is the chart we've seen before. This was, so before the war, and I think it's, yeah, in here. Go back. So, Italy, Germany, and Austro-Hungary. Wait, no. Is it this one first? Yeah. Okay, so, what am I doing? Germany and Austro-Hungary were in an alliance first. Can't spell. Germany. Then we had the, if you guys leave early, again, I'm gonna have your name down. So there's that. This is because I can't. If your internet goes out and stuff, make sure you let me know. So I'll leave your name on there. Italy, Germany, Austro-Hungary. All right, so Italy, Germany. So let me put that in the chat right quick. So we have Germany, Italy, Germany. So this was just an alliance. This is the triple alliance because there were 3 countries. Then we have France and Britain were in this Entente cordiale, whatever. A friendly understanding, I guess, basically. Wait, which order was it? France and Britain. Okay. All right, so that's how it started, these two. And then at about 1905, this is when Germany is like starts noticing some things. They're noticing in these alliances, like what if Russia and Britain and France, come at us at the same time? Now we've got a problem. So this plan already existed before the war, really. That kind of planned for if Russia created an alliance with France and Britain, because they'd be essentially surrounded, is what it is. So they already had this plan to go through Belgium as a just in case. All right, and the final alliance was Russia, Britain, and France in the Triple Entente. Russia, Britain, and France. Okay, so this was kind of out of order, I guess, in a sense. So this is both sides. Instead of attacking France head on, Germany will march through Belgium. Wonder if I have it on the next. Yeah, it wasn't on there. All right, so that's kind of the last part right there. So in 1909, what if Russia joins Britain and France? They could attack us from both sides. And Belgium is that neutral country. But England had also already thought about this. They're like, when you're sitting around and you're not in war, and you're a general, then you might be sitting there like, what are these places going to do? Especially when we're all in competition with each other and stuff.